Hi, I'm Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to another Cape Conversations. We are in the town of Yarmouth, and we're going to talk to Robert John Cook, a fabulous artist, and we're going to talk to Dr. Cliff Robbins, all about business. How about the art of business? How about the business of art? What do you think? Anyway, come along, and we're going to have a great Cape Conversation. Well, everyone, I am so excited. You know, we did Provincetown, we've done Orleans, and now we're with a fabulous artist, Robert Cook, in his studio of sorts, his current studio. He may be moving soon, we hope, and we'll hear about that. Who's doing all kinds of wonderful things with other artists and helping them be successful. So, Robert, how are you?
How are you, Melinda?
Good
Pleasure, and thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, it's
Thank
great.
you.
And we're
Thank
great
you.
to be in your space. It's so wonderful. So now tell me, okay, here you are, you're in this space. Make a short version of how you got here.
A short version of how I got here.
And you're from Hyannis, right? Or from the area?
Okay, wait a minute. You got two questions for me at the same time there.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I feel like I'm from Situate, Massachusetts. That's where I went to high school.
Okay.
I feel like that's my hometown.
Okay.
So don't spend a whole lot of time there now, but that
Yeah.
makes me feel like I'm from there.
Okay. And so now you live on the Cape?
I live here on the Cape.
Yeah?
I live here in Yarmouth. Mm-hmm. And I'm a local artist.
Yeah?
I came up with a simple idea, and thanks to the goodness of Dr. Cliff Robbins, this project has come to life, and I am a person that's been blessed with living his dreams.
That's wonderful. So what type of artwork do you do?
I do oil with a palette knife. I do sculpture. I do found objects, but mostly I do oil painting.
Oil painting.
That's my forte.
And do you do mostly seascapes or everything?
I do a variety, but I just recently had my friend Sam Barber say to me, "Stop doing all of what you're doing and get back to the human form." So I'm thinking now. I've got paints. I'm going to take a short art sabbatical here, just around the corner. And when I do, I'm thinking I'm going to start painting the human form again.
Excellent.
Something that I haven't been. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So now here you are, and you mentioned Mr. Robbins. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing with other artists. I mean, it's been in the newspaper. If anybody reads the Cape Cod Times still, it's either online or in hard copy. I hope you do. But tell me what you're doing with other artists, because to me, that's what's so exciting, is that you're not just doing this for yourself. You realize that if you empower other people, it'll even make you more successful.
It's about that, but adding to that, if I may, please. I recognized that I've been working with Dr. Robbins, and from that, I was interviewed with Cape Cod Times. This goes back a while now, just at the start of when we started working together. And I was asked by the reporter, with this economy, as a small business owner, what would I do differently? And when asked that question, I took a look at it and said, you know what I would do differently? I would make it so that a person like me that comes along in this economy has a fighting chance. There's not a whole lot of resources. If you're an artist and this economy hits hard, you don't go stand in an unemployment line. There's no place to turn to. So the idea behind our business is to take and create an opportunity whereby an artist of the creative community here on Cape Cod can come to us and say, I've got a business idea. I've got a seed that needs to be put in the ground and watered each week with someone like Dr. Robbins as a business advisor. Our idea is to take that seed, match that with the UMass program, but then we fund it with no payback.
So this is a program that you founded, or did Dr. Robbins find this program?
It was a joint effort.
It was wonderful.
Joint effort.
Okay.
So,
and we're going to talk to Dr. Robbins in a few minutes. So.
But you'll enjoy it.
I know this.
So the idea is to take an artist in the creative community and say, if you've got a business idea, and Dr. Robbins, UMass, or a person working in that organization, it's a person's capable of it and it's a good idea, we're going to fund it through startup until they are up and running, provided it's in a cultural district here on the Cape. Because wherever Sarah Peak puts a cultural district, our mission is to go wherever she has established it, or wherever the Culture, Tourism, and Art Committee establishes it, that we'll go there and add the face to the name.
That's wonderful.
Which it's wonderful for the artists. It's also a good thing for the cultural district. And to be quite frank, I think artists make good neighbors. So.
Well, that's great. Now tell me a little bit more about your work. I know you said you did found objects, and you have other artists here that do many different things. What do some of the artists here do for artwork?
Well, we have 30 creative outlets, and they were arranged in a sequence of events so that we could go through sweat equity and build the company up. We've recently changed that. Senator Wolf has been kind and had us in a direction with the tutelage of Dr. Robbins to go out and obtain investors. So what we're doing right now is changing our format as to how we go through the sequence of starting up, and we've actually accelerated our program quite a bit right now. So of our 30 creative outlets, for example, we have our first business is a marine consignment shop where we take in a lot of sailcloth.
Which is here.
That's right. This what you're seeing here right now is our first business. So we no money. We've startup with no startup money. We started this business, found this abandoned building, and said to the landlord, "Help us with some rent, and we'll get up and we'll get running." We take in the wooden boats. Business number 2 was to take the sailcloth and create the colorful jackets. That is our Optimistic Vibe Cape Cod Sailwear collection. Business number 3 was to take wooden boats and cut them up, and that company is called Optimistic Vibe Driftwood Company. The Optimistic Vibe Driftwood Company is what has landed us on HGTV about 3 weeks ago. They came in 2 days and filmed here because of that product line. It's unique. No one's currently doing that. So that's one of our 30, and then we have 27 other outlets that would take me quite a bit of time, probably the entire show to go through. So
okay, well that's good though. But isn't it wonderful? Now, are all the artists local artists, or are they from other areas?
Cape Cod.
They're all from Cape Cod.
They're all from Cape Cod. They're all here. They're all members of the creative community.
Oh, excellent.
We don't go off Cape.
That's great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, there is a cultural district in Hyannis.
First one.
Yes, that was the first one.
First one in the
Sandwich, I think, just got their cultural district designation, or pretty close to it.
Yeah, there's more to follow.
Yeah.
It's synchronicity would come to mind when I'm thinking of Hyannis, because Hyannis is named after my 11 generations ago grandfather. And to have that be the first cultural district at a time, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to follow these cultures.
Not too bad.
It fits. It fits. So it fits.
There's a continuum there. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Well, so because of these different cultural districts, as you said, what you will be doing is maybe working with, if there are a group of artists, let's say, and I'm going to use Sandwich because that's where we're from. If there's a group of artists in Sandwich who say, hey, we want to try this, we want to get together, we found a building that nobody wants, or it's a town building and they're going to let us use it. So they would come to you, is that correct? And you would discuss it?
They can certainly come to us. We welcome that. What we're doing is we're establishing the first arts business incubator in the state.
Wow.
And the idea behind that is for us to have a building on Main Street in Hyannis. This would be a place where an artist from Sandwich could come and work with us to learn the navigation of what it's like in the business world if you're going to have an art business. We teach them hands-on some of the skills. These skills might be financial, marketing, sales, operations, employees, those characteristics of a business that you're not going to find in your studio. If you're standing behind an easel painting, you're not going to have opportunity to see those.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're saying, we've got a business place for you to come and meet with us, and once a week, a representative from UMass, Dr. Robbins, I hope, will come and visit those artists while they're working with us. And so that's how we're going to nurture them through the program. They'll come in, like I did. Right now I go and I meet with Dr. Robbins at his office once a week, close to that on average, and we go through the program. So the idea is to have them come into the environment and see, and probably accelerate the program, because if you're doing it hands-on, there'll be plenty of opportunity for artists to get real hands-on experience with marketing or sales or finance, whatever they might need to help nurture them.
Great. So here we are, Robert, with one of your pieces. What do you call this? Is it named?
I call it Sunlight Forest.
And it's absolutely stunning. And what is the medium?
It's oil with a palette knife.
Oil with the palette.
Oil with a palette knife.
Excellent, excellent. And do you have a website?
I do.
You do?
I do. I have several websites, but I have one. It's robertjohncookartist.wordpress.com. That's from my own personal art. But the website that I'm most proud of is called istandupforcapecod.com.
Okay, sure.
And there is a link to me there, and several of my pieces of work are there. But that's probably the website.
And you
that I'm
have pages on Facebook as well, as I believe.
We have pages on Facebook. We have right now about 25 people working with us.
Mm-hmm.
We have some people developing our marketing program where we're doing things like Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and website pages,
Right.
and all of that activity that goes with it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's put this down.
Okay.
And I don't want it to fall, for heaven's sakes. So you are an entrepreneur. You've got you're starting something totally new here on the Cape, and it's an economy that people do not realize how important it is to the Cape, do they?
There's a presence right now, and perhaps Dr. Robbins can talk more about this, but there is our governor has put together a program of helping artists. And his concern, and I believe he's accurate with his statement, there's $1 billion a year that comes into our state.
Mm-hmm.
A large chunk of that comes here because of the arts.
Right, absolutely.
I will tell you that if the economy doesn't change and it becomes more and more difficult for artists like myself, we're going to leave.
Right.
So many artists right now, the demographics show that the ages of 25 to 40, over the last 10 years, 25% of that population here on Cape Cod has left.
Right.
Unless there's something to come back to, they're not.
Right.
I look at it and say, well, my heritage is here, my everything is here, my energy for me to create is here, so I am rock solid in staying here, but if it gets harder and harder and harder, then it becomes, if there's no other options, then I have to go someplace else.
Right.
And that's going to happen. So what we're doing is saying, especially to our young people, if you're in the creative community, come and stay here on Cape Cod and work with us, because part 2 of our program, the sizzle that sells our steak, is what we call the optimistic vibe. And what we're doing in that regard, we have I Stand Up for Cape Cod, but we're also building I Stand Up for Hawaii, because our optimistic vibe, we feel strongly, comes from Hawaii. When you are an artist that are swinging through the trees of Cape Cod and swinging through the trees of Hawaii, you exude with a level of confidence, and you express that confidence in your art shines. So right now we're building I Stand Up for Cape Cod, we're building I Stand Up for Hawaii, and then to the young people we're saying join us and enjoy the two worlds.
Well, we're going to break for a second, and we're going to get Dr. Robbins here in your seat, and we're going to ask him a few things, and then I'd like you to come back. I am now sitting here with the esteemed, I don't know, really smart guy, Dr. Cliff Robbins. Hi.
Hi.
Good to have you with us.
Good to be someplace.
I know, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
You get to a certain age, I'm just glad to be.
I'm just glad to be anywhere.
That's right. Well, and you and I have worked together on the marketing committee of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce
Absolutely.
for quite a few years.
Absolutely, that was fun.
And it has been. Are you still on that? Are you still
I
doing
am.
some
I still
things?
participate
Yeah.
in all activities. My office is actually at the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce
Oh, it
on
is?
Chute Flying Hill Road.
Okay,
Right.
I didn't
Wendy
realize.
was kind enough to give me an office because she probably thought what I was doing was valuable.
That's great. So, speaking of what you're doing,
Yeah.
tell me, what are you doing?
Well, I am a business advisor. I am the senior, I hate that word, senior business advisor with the University of Massachusetts Small Business Development Center. And the SBDC is a free advising service for the small business community of Massachusetts. There are about 20 of us in the state. I cover Cape Cod and Plymouth, and I provide free business advice along the lines of business planning, financial planning. If you're looking to obtain a loan from a bank, I help you put the package together. Most especially help you do what businesses really need to do the most, which is create customers by executing a well-documented marketing plan. Anything that has to do with business. I help people start businesses. I help people in business grow their businesses. With the economy being what it is in the past few years, I've actually spent some time helping people survive a very difficult economy, and it's a free service of the state. I'm paid to do this by the federal government. We're a grant-funded organization, The SBA funds 50% of what we need. The state of Massachusetts funds 50%. And the state of Massachusetts monitors everything we do because they want to know what their ROI is. And their ROI usually ranges from every dollar they spend on our program, they get back between $4 and $11 in new tax revenues every year. So it's a pretty good investment.
That's great.
I wish my 201k was doing as well. Used to be a 401k.
I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in an art studio, which
Yes.
is going to grow, and
Yes.
I want to talk about that. But so if I've got a concept for a restaurant,
Yep.
and I am a chef,
Yes.
and I don't know anything about, I mean, I know about business because I've been a chef. I know how to order. I know how to do
Well,
all
that's
those
not business.
things.
Yeah, that's the product side of business.
Right,
Yeah,
right. But,
They know
but
how to
I
cook.
know how to. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about I've run a kitchen.
You've had experience.
I've had experience. I know how to
Absolutely.
buy and product
Right.
and
Cook it,
then serve it,
present
and-
it nicely.
right? And
Right.
what it should probably cost, and
I would hope
cost
so.
effect, right?
Unfortunately, a lot of them don't know what it
Right.
costs.
So my question to you is this: so could I come to you for your service?
You better.
Okay, great.
Because you
great.
know what? I don't know how to cook.
There you go. So if you get one free meal, that's okay, huh?
I don't even want that because my services are free, but that's a personal issue. I can't go to restaurants and you walk in and say, oh, I give it snapshot. I can't come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to paint. As a matter of fact, Robert knows now. He wouldn't even let me paint his house. All I know how to do is build and run a business. That's all
great.
I've done for 40 years. I built my own businesses. I built a $25 million business and sold it. That's what I know how to do. And for the last 11 years, I've worked here with the SBDC, helping people start businesses. And I'm talking businesses. I mean, we hear the expression starving artist. I hate that. There's no reason why creative, hardworking people should be starving, but they're not sure how to actually financially be successful in their
Right.
business. And that's what I provide. I provide them the tools they need to understand how to make money. I'm always saying to Robert, show me the money. Okay,
Right.
he's a visionary. He's enthusiastic, and he moves. Like I said, he's the pilot. I'm just a navigator, But boy, does he fly this airplane, and he knows where he's going. And what we really want to do is help artists make money, making their art and releasing the creativity within them and creating real jobs on Cape Cod. As Robert mentioned, there was an economist 7-8 years ago.
Oh,
that's-
Peter,
right.
It starts with F. Peter
Frampton, no.
No,
that's the singer.
that's okay. But we all know Froon or Something
Whatever,
like
yeah,
that.
a very bright guy.
Yeah, from New Hampshire,
And he said
actually.
he said the economy of Cape Cod is dying. It's struggling. It's getting lopsided. Old people are retiring here, like me. And there are no good paying jobs being created here on Cape Cod for our best and brightest. So they go off to school and they want to come back to Cape Cod, but there's
Right.
nothing for them to do here. We need to create incubators like this art incubator. We actually need a technology incubator. We need a business incubator because people need so many other tools to make whatever they're doing a business.
Right, right.
Okay, and I'm a business person. That's all I am. I tell people all the time, I'm from the McGuire School of Business. Show me the money, Jerry Maguire,
Jerry
right?
Maguire, right.
Robert
Well, that's
will
the way
be,
it should be.
Robert, I'm this and that, and I say, you know what school of business I'm from? I know, sell. Okay, here's how
right.
we're going to raise. Here's how we're going to sell it. And that's what it's really all about. I'm just the business guy who says, how do we make money doing this? And people need help doing that, and that's what we provide.
Right. And sometimes for creative folks, that side of the brain to be able to justify, to say, yes, but I did this painting, it was wonderful. It took me, months to really get
Right.
it finished and whatever. And then it sits
Right,
on the
because
wall.
nobody sees it, nobody buys it,
Nobody
and-
buys it.
Yeah.
Or it sits there for 20 years and he goes, but it still should be worth $9,000.
Right.
Probably not.
Probably not,
Probably
because
should have had a
nobody
sale.
really understands how to market.
Right.
It's undoubtedly beautiful piece, and it'll touch your soul just by looking at it. But what it needs to do is touch somebody's pocketbook.
That's right,
okay?
that's right.
And that's what I do. I say,
right.
here's how we will go to market and create what Robert knows. He's starting to speak my language very well. What's the business model? how are you going to make money doing this wonderful
Right.
creative work?
Right.
I'm always asking that question, and he now knows when he comes with the idea, he's got to have that answer too.
That's
And he does.
great. That's great.
And this is the answer, quite frankly. The incubator that's here to help people make money while making art. You can do it. Ask Picasso.
Right.
Oh, he's
Well,
dead. Can't
yeah,
ask
that's
him,
right.
can we?
That's right. That's right. Remember all those haystacks? You know that Van Gogh.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, he painted all those haystacks, and everybody. I was taking the tour like everybody else at the MFA of all these beautiful pictures, and you go into the room of haystacks, and they say on there the reason why he did haystacks is because that's how you knew a farmer was successful if he had a painting
Right.
of his haystacks. So what did he do? He painted haystacks.
Because that's what the market wanted.
At
And
that time.
boy, I tell you, you find a need and fill it is a very basic mantra of marketing.
Yeah.
And so you got to find out what
That's
the
right.
customer wants, and then you fit it with what you can do and give them what they want.
Right.
You'll make
now
money.
those haystacks are worth a little bit more than he probably sold them for
Probably,
originally.
yeah. I know that he's dead.
Dead.
He's dead, but he didn't even have to cut off his ear to be famous.
No,
so, you
no,
know.
no, 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 no. So,
He was actually famous during his lifetime.
yeah, there you go. There you're right. So you're working with Robert. Are you working with other artists as well in other areas of the Cape?
I
or-
have worked with other artists in other areas of Cape Cod, in Plymouth, and as individuals. But you know, the strength in numbers, and that's
Yes.
what I love about what Robert's doing. Is you know, we're creating an artist's business incubator. They're going to come with their product. Marketing is product, price, place, promotion. I won't give you a marketing course. There's your product. It's art. It's art in the form of a painting. It's art in the form of music. It's art in the form of theater. It's art in the form of writing. You're an artist. You're creative. How do you translate that into money? Because that's the school I'm from, McGuire. And that's what we talk about, is how to do the marketing, how to do the financial piece of it, how to do the operational piece of it, how to do all of the business things that you know people don't necessarily get trained in doing. There's a wonderful book written 30 years ago. I'm a fanatic reader of business books. It was called The E-Myth. And the E-Myth's basic premise was that people have a skill or a technical ability and they think they know how to go out and just be a business person. Not necessarily. There are so many other skills that even a chef doesn't have.
No,
a chef
that's
is trained
true.
to cook.
Right.
A chef is hopefully trained to understand portion control and all of the things that go with the food.
Right.
Does the chef understand marketing? I don't
Probably
know.
not.
Does the chef
Yeah.
understand the financial piece of his business?
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the shows that are on TV where the expert walks in and say, "What'd you sell last month?" I don't know. What was your cost of goods? I don't know. That's business stuff.
Yeah.
And you got to know that stuff because above all else, that restaurant is a business.
Right.
It's first a business. Okay.
Right.
What Robert's doing is saying, you are creative, you have your art form, but first of all, it's got to be a business for you to make money.
Sure,
That's what
sure.
we're talking
Yeah,
about. And we're
yeah.
here to help them.
That's wonderful.
But they can help each other because
Right.
Robert is a business person.
Right.
He's an artist, but I find him to be one of the most
Astute.
astute business artists, and that's the beauty of it. He has both skills.
Yeah,
A lot of artists
Right,
don't
you're
have the
absolutely
business
right.
skills.
Now, I've got a question. If I want to get a hold of you, how do I find you?
You can
Because your services are free, right?
free service.
Free services,
Yeah, no,
right?
it's you. All you have to do is call the office in Fall River, and it's the SBDC. You can go to the website msbdc.org, or you can just call Fall River office at 508-673-9783 and ask for Allison because she's got a wonderful British accent. She schedules all my appointments here on the Cape.
That's wonderful.
And people say, "Gee, why aren't you?" I'm never there because
You're here.
I'm here. And plus, I tell people all the time, I say, look, you want to talk to the man or you want to talk to the woman that knows what the hell's going on? You call Allison, she schedules the appointment every day. She just tells me where to go in the
That's
nicest
great.
way.
That's great.
And that's where I go.
That's wonderful.
Right.
Cliff, thank you. Dr. Robbins.
No, don't
Doctor.
don't call me doctor because I work for a living. My name's Cliff.
All right, Cliff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tell us, Robert, what you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking after hearing the beautiful words from Cliff Robbins, that it dawned on to me that we as artists, we've been struggling. This economy has hit us hard.
It's hit everybody hard. Yeah.
It's hit everybody hard, but I say it's hit artists hard because we have no place to turn to.
Right, right.
We have a place to turn to if we come together ourselves and form our own company and utilize resources that are available to us. I could have gone to the state and asked, could you give me a fish so I can eat today? But instead I went with Dr. Robbins, and he taught me how to fish for a lifetime.
There you
the
go.
business words that I learned from him, cash flow, I thought cash flow went, I had money in my pocket, then I went and had lunch, now I don't have any more cash. That's not what it means. And there's other terms that are used in business. What does branding mean? What does clustering mean? And why is it important to have a business plan or a sales plan or a marketing plan? Why is it important to think these things through? These resources are available to us. And we as artists, we don't have to be stagnant. We don't have to go and clean the house in the morning and then run home and change up so we can wait tables at night to make a living. Here on Cape Cod, if you're not earning $23 an hour for an average 40-hour work week, you're living below the national standard.
I know.
It's a shame because these artists, they're brilliant people.
Sure.
And so utilizing our product and approaching people coming over the bridge to join us as we relish our optimistic vibe. That's our brand.
Yeah.
We welcome you to go to optimisticvibe.com and learn more about us.
Sure.
IstandUpForCapeCod.com. We are here as a resource to help every artist on Cape Cod. If you've got an idea,
That's
you've
great.
got a question, give a call, give a holler. We are here to help you. We will help you navigate the resources that the state has made available to us. And there are many. We live in a very, very generous state to help those of
Absolutely.
us that are looking to, not a handout, but to have an understanding of what tools are available to help us feed ourselves.
Well, we're very fortunate to live in a state that recognizes how important a state and also a region, how important it is to have artists like yourself, like the other artists you're working with, and other artists that are scattered across this area, how important they are to our economy. They get it, and that's very important.
It is.
Again,
It's a pleasure.
Robert.
Pleasure.
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you, Melinda.
Well, look what I'm wearing. I am wearing a beautiful, beautiful jacket. And I just got through talking with Robert John Cook, fabulous artist, and Dr. Cliff Robbins. It was a great show. Go online, IstandUpForCapeCod.com. All kinds of great things are there. You need to pay attention to what's going on Cape Cod and our wonderful artists here. They're very important to our economy and to our souls, I think. So anyway, come along again and we'll have another Cape Conversation.